Hello students, welcome back. We'll continue with the chapter diversity in living organism. In the previous class, I said you about the different phylums of kingdom Animalia, and today we are going to further divide the last phylum, that is phylum Vertebrata, into their classes. If I again recapitulate what is the hierarchy of classification, we have kingdom, phylum or division, division for plants and phylum for animals, then class, order, family, genus and species. So now we are going to divide Vertebrata into its classes, and there are majorly 5 classes. So we are going to use a differentiation table for doing the same, so that you can easily come to know that how are we dividing the Vertebrata into all the different classes. Now before that, I will tell you the basis of division, the major characteristics based on which it is divided. The first being the body covering. How is the body covered? We all know that we all are also vertebrates, so our body is covered with hair. So same way all the classes have different types of body covering. So body covering, then the respiration, how do they respire? Then the chamber of heart. The third characteristics based on which we divide the Vertebrata into classes are the chambers of heart. Then reproduction, how do they reproduce, and movement. So we can take this 5 as the major characteristics for dividing. The maximum number of questions which comes are again how do we have the differentiation between all the different classes, and then you can even have a table or a flow chart to be covered up based on these 5 properties of characteristics. That is the reason we will be stressing more on this 5: the body covering, the respiration, the chamber present in the heart, reproduction and movement. Along with it, we will discuss few more and the examples too. But these are the 5 major things based on which the phylum Vertebrata is classified. The first one will divide the board into again 6 parts, because there are 5 classes into which the Vertebrata is divided. The first one will be used for characteristics. Okay, let me write down. This will be the class of Vertebrata and this will be the characteristics. The first one, Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and mammals. The first characteristics, what did I said, that it is the body covering. Pisces are generally organisms which falls over here are fishes. Here amphibia you already know, reptilia you already know, aves also you have studied in 8th standard, and mammals, we all are mammals. So when I discuss, it will be easier for you to recapitulate what will come over here. Pisces or the fishes have the body covered with scales. The amphibians are covered with a sticky layer called as mucus. Reptilias are again, reptiles you all have seen, reptiles are again covered with the scales. Aves are nothing but your birds. So the birds are covered with feathers. And mammals, we all are covered, we all are having hair. So the mammal's body is covered with hair. Okay. So we have scale, mucus, then again scales, feathers and hairs. The next one, that was respiration. How do it respire? The fishes respires with the help of gills. We have already studied this one. The 5 classes are very easy and you all have maximum things you have studied in your lower classes. Fishes respire with the help of gills. Amphibians stays on land as well as water. So the frogs and all respires with either gills. When they are in water, they respire with gills, and when they are on land, they respire with lungs. Reptilia again respires with the help of lungs. Aves, lungs, and mammals, we all respire with the help of again lungs. The next one, what was the third characteristics? The chambers of the heart. The Pisces have two chambered heart, means they will have the ventricle and atricle only, but one ventricle and one atricle. Okay, so there are two chambers of heart. Amphibians have 3 chamber, reptiles have again 3 chamber, aves 4 and mammals 4. Now here there is one exception, only crocodile have 4 chambered heart. So I will mention that also, that crocodile is a reptile which have 4 chambered heart. So as and when we discuss if there is any exception, I will be discussing that also along with the same table. Reptilia mein there is only crocodile which have 4 chambered heart, other all have 3 chambered heart. The next was mode of reproduction. How do they reproduce? Body covering, respiration, chamber of heart and reproduction. How do fishes reproduce? Fishes reproduce with the help of eggs. And what do we call the organism which reproduce with the help of eggs? We call them as, I will make a point over here so that you all can note down, we call them as oviparous. Oviparous are the organism which reproduce with the help of eggs. Then comes amphibians. Amphibians again reproduce with the help of eggs. Now if I want to say that where do they reproduce, the eggs are laid in the water because they are aquatic animals. Here they have gills and lungs, but the eggs, so they can stay in water as well as on land, but the eggs need to be laid in water by the amphibians. The reptilia have scales and they have lungs, they can reproduce on land. And how do they reproduce? With the help of eggs. But the difference over here is the reptilia's eggs are having a hard covering. These both are having a soft covering. Reptiles' eggs are generally having a hard covering. Aves again reproduce by eggs, so they are oviparous and reproduce on land. But or you can say that they are aerial animals, they fly. There is only difference in mammals which reproduce by giving birth to the young one, and such organism we called as viviparous. They give birth to young ones. Okay. So these are the 4 characteristics. Now let us write down the habitat, where do they live, and after that we will be discussing the movement, how do they move. That was the 5th basis of classification, but since I am writing reproduction and where do they reproduce, I will first do the habitat and then we will go on for the movement. The first one, Pisces, okay, they are having a aquatic habitat, the fishes stays in water. Amphibians, we already studied amphibians of plant kingdom, and this word is much more familiar with you all. They can stay in land as well as water. Reptiles are generally on land. They can go in water, but they will reproduce on land. Here the difference is that they reproduce in water and they reproduce in land. Aves again land or aerial, you can use the word aerial animals because they have adaptation of flight. Their bones are hollow, okay. The aves bones are hollow. Why they are hollow? So that they become light in weight, and something which is light in weight can easily fly. Therefore they are aerial animals. And mammals are terrestrial and land animals. Generally they are terrestrial and land animals. Let us go to the last characteristic, that is movement. Fishes moves. How do they move? With the help of fins. They have a strong tail fin which help them in movement. Then there is amphibians. Amphibians have hind legs and forelimbs. So I can use the word limbs instead of legs also. Hind limbs and forelimbs. If you see that the hind limbs of the amphibians are generally much more larger, so that they can jump. They generally jump and hop. Reptiles moves on their bellies. You all have seen reptiles crawling. They generally moves on their bellies. Aves fly with feathers. Okay. And the feathers, who is covering this? Feathers are covering the wings. So generally they fly with the help of wings which are covered with feathers. Again feathers to make it heavy. So there are two characteristics which make the ave's body more lighter. One is the hollow bone and second are the feathers. Then we move on land with the help of legs or the hind limbs. Okay. Now these are the characteristics based on which we divide all the classes of the phylum Vertebrata. The last one, let us see the examples of all. Here the example of Pisces is fishes. Any fish you can write down, but remember will not include starfish, octopus and your sea cucumber. Now we all know that they all are under the category of different phylums. So we will accept them. We will be writing anything over here which is fish like rohu. You can write down rohu over here. Or dogfish, catfish, all the fishes can come over here. Amphibians, you have frog, you have toad, you have salamander. Reptiles, snake, that is your cobra and turtle. Aves, all the birds are the example of aves, and mammals, human beings. And the different animals which give birth to their young one. But as there is an exception over here in reptile that they have 4-chamber heart, crocodile, same way we have an exception in mammals too. Let me write down that exception for you all so that it becomes easier for you all. The first exception is your bat. Bat is flying. It is supposed to be a bird, but bat is a mammal because it gives birth to the young one. So the first one is a bat, okay, that is why mammal. So that bat is included over there in mammals, and one more is your platypus. It is a famous cartoon character, so you all know what is a platypus. Now the thing with platypus is a mammal because it have mammary gland. The major thing the mammals have is that they feed the young one with the help of their mammary glands, but platypus lays egg. Okay, so it is a mammal, it have a mammary gland, but it lays egg. And bat is a mammal, but it can fly. Okay, so with this we finish with the phylum Vertebrata and the division of phylum Vertebrata into different classes: Pisces, amphibia, reptiles, aves and mammals. The 5 characteristics or the 6 major characteristics based on which you divide all the amphibians or the vertebrates are body covering, respiration, chambers of heart, reproduction, habitat and movement. The examples are here. Now in the next lecture we will be studying the taxonomy, how to name the organisms. Okay, there are few rules by which you name the organism, the scientific naming of organism, that is the taxonomy, how to name, because we have studied how to divide. So now it is necessary that we study that how to name and what are the rules for naming the organism, and this was the recapitulation. We will take it again in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.
Hope this video increased your knowledge. For more such videos and a completely free educational content, log on to www.epathshala.org or visit our ePathshala YouTube channel. We have each and every question solved for maths, physics, chemistry and biology. So subscribe our channel, share with your friends, like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter handle for regular updates and important educational tips, and also win ePathshala goodies. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe this channel and enjoy the freedom of education.